Let us see how to understand this problem and solve it. So basically what is given is there is a logic family. So for this logic family, the VOH of that logic family is represented as the minimum output high level voltage. VOL is the maximum output low level voltage. VIH is the minimum acceptable input high level voltage. VL is the maximum acceptable input low level voltage, and we have to determine the relation between this. Okay, so now what are these voltages and why they are needed? We just need to understand once. Let us assume I have a logic family A or a IC. Let us assume this is a IC integrated. IC is nothing but integrated circuit. There is one more ICB where both of them are to be connected, right? Let us assume A is sending data to B. Now whatever the levels that is transmitted by A, levels mean basically in a digital circuit there will be signal, right? Square wave or rectangle, whatever. So when you transmit this signal from A to B, basically there will be a low voltage and the high voltage. Now when you send this has to understand that the transmitted one is a high voltage and the transmitted one is a low voltage. If 0 is transmitted, it has to understand as low, 0 or some voltage, it should be understood as low. If some voltage is transmitted, it should be understood as high by the ICB. Okay, now that means we are checking the electrical compatibility between A and B here. So in this scenario, if you have a device A, okay, now what is mentioned is let us assume this device is giving the output. Okay, now for this VOL is the maximum output low level voltage. That means whatever the voltage below VOL is treated as 0 by A. That means if it wants to transmit a low level voltage, it can transmit starting from 0 to the value of VOL. Now that is 0 can also be treated as V minimum. Okay, now in this there is one more level called VOH. VOH is the minimum output high level voltage. So now if this A wants to transmit high, it has to transmit a voltage above certain level, which is called the VOH. This is the minimum high level voltage, and there will be Vmax. Okay, any voltage between these is treated as a high by this A. Now this V minimum and V maximum depends on the supply rails that is provided. Suppose if you give plus 3.3 here, example 3.3 would be the maximum voltage here, and definitely will ground, right? So 0 will be the minimum voltage. Now when you want to transmit these levels to another IC, okay, in this scenario this is B. Okay, now A is transmitting a high which is VOL till VOL. Now for this whatever the IC, if this has to consider this level as a low, okay, the VOL should be the VIL. That means this is given as input, right? This is VO output, this is input. So the VIL should be less than or equal to VOL. If VIL is here, then there might be a case that it might VIL should be greater than or equal to VOL, because if VIL is here and VOL is greater than VIL, then this cannot be determined as 0 by this. So the VIL, whatever is there, input voltage low, should always be greater than the voltage maximum output voltage low given by the IC. That means this should be at this point, okay, so that there is enough margin. Similarly, when VOH is given, so this IC should treat this as the high voltage. So if you have VIH here equal to VOH, then there should not be an issue. So if VIH is here, example, that means greater than VOH, then VOH cannot be treated as high by this, because example, if this is 2.3 example and this is 2.5, so now 0.5 volts we mean. So when VOH is given as 2.3, it cannot consider 2.3 as high, because the minimum voltage itself for B to be treated as 2.5. So VOH should always be less than VIH. So that means VOH, okay, should be greater than VIH is one case if it is a high, or VIL should be greater than VOL is second case, okay. If you consider all these scenarios, VOH should be greater than VIH, okay, and then VIH will definitely be greater than VIL because it is a high voltage, and then VIL should always be higher than VOL. Only if this condition is met, which is the second condition here, right? VOH, VIH, VIL, VOL. Only if this condition is met, both these logic families, both these ICs from different logic families or the same logic family can be connected together, and there will not be any issue in understanding the data. So this is how the relation between the voltage levels, input and output voltage levels from different logic families are formed. Thank you.